Nobody. It's how we record for YouTube.
Okay, it's 8:30. Let's call the meeting to order. Thank you all for coming. Rita, would you do a roll call, please?
Mr. Doherty?
Here.
Mr. Canfield?
Here.
Chairman Smith?
Here.
Let the record show that Mr. Dunham, the town manager, and Ed Mazzaro, the assistant town attorney, are both present, and myself.
Thank you, Rita. We had a chance and had in front of us maybe the minutes of the last meeting. Have you had a chance to read them and review them? Does anybody have any corrections, additions, deletions, et cetera? Not going to have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Moved and seconded. Rita?
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mr. Canfield?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes. Are there any additions, withdrawals, deferrals, or arrangements to the agenda items that we don't know of? Okay, thank you. You see we have no meeting in the month of August, and our next regular meeting will be held on September 23rd at 8:30, and monthly thereafter at about the same time. If you have any knowledge now that you will or will not be here for those meetings, it would be helpful to say anything. Bob, you going to be here in September, you think? Maybe.
I don't know.
Definite maybe.
Okay, all right, so even September could be iffy, okay?
This has been a bad year.
Yeah,
Post-COVID and, yeah.
everybody just wants to get out of here. Okay, if there's nothing else, at this time we can move to the public portion of the hearing. Does anybody have any declaration of ex parte communication? Thank you very much. Rita, would you administer oaths to anyone in the audience who's going to speak today or thinks they may speak today? Please stand.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Just make sure that Renee gets your name before you leave the meeting.
Okay, the first item on the agenda today is an application submitted by Carol Perez for the Little Club and pickleball courts. Carol, you're up.
Okay.
I should move the podium. This is new from.
Do you want?
That's
this?
right.
We have to right now because of the sound issues, sound system, so.
And now that the little microchips are flowing in, we're gonna get our new sound system.
Yeah, first week of August.
So this is kind of makeshift.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, I'm here to present to you, for the Little Club, two proposed pickleball courts. And, this is the map, the aerial map of the Little Club, and as you can see, the location is in the middle of the golf course. It is adjacent to the croquet court, the existing croquet court, and just north of the maintenance facility. Town Hall is directly east of this location. And this aerial is a close-up, and it shows you the distance between the City Hall building and also the adjacent residences, single-family and multifamily residences. We are 600 feet from any residence. And even further, as you can see, the Gulfview is 660 linear feet, and is that the hermitage of 728 about?
No, that's Polo.
No, that's Polo.
Okay. But the Hermitage is
right now,
immediately down from that.
Right in back of us.
Right in back of you, and then you can see, Town Hall is right here. And this is a close-up of the site plan. As you can see, it's the two pickleball courts. They're 30 feet and 30 feet by 60 feet, but it totals 30 by 120 because there's two. The courts are surrounded by existing areca palms on the left-hand side. They are very tall existing arecas, about 15 foot to 20 foot tall, and that separates the pickleball court from the fairway. And on the right-hand side, there are the croquet courts, and again, there are areca palms going around those croquet courts. There's also, make a nice screen for this area. The maintenance facilities to the south, and, we are also proposing a little walkway between the two courts and some seating areas that are just 8 foot by 12 foot. And that would be just for a table and chairs, something that you can sit down, take a rest, and put your bag on if you need it to. There's gonna be a fence around the court. It's gonna be 8 foot tall, except on the east side, and that would be a 4 foot high, fence. It would be chain linked and vinyl clad in a green color. And we are relocating, presently the maintenance bins are in this area. We're relocating them, to this area. We are also, as far as landscape goes, we are proposing 3 more Aretha palms in the northeast corner to kind of complete the surrounding of the Aretha palms around the court. And we are proposing some hibiscus hedges on the east side along the fence for some color. And on the south side, we have a podocarpus hedge going in to screen maintenance area. And besides the landscaping that we are proposing, this is, obviously a enlargement of the area. If you were to look at the entire picture, as you go further around the course has landscaping. There are Australian pines by the maintenance building, and then
watch these proceedings and
Not necessarily at the step level.
People come in with applications.
okay.
In my opinion, aside from not being here, I think noise is the biggest concern in all three of these, and I feel like it's been addressed. So, I don't think we need to be able to propose that side of it anymore.
I think if, delay this for a couple months, there'll just be 2 or 3 people and they'll be making the same argument, but I don't know that it's gonna hold.
Okay, then, are you ready then to make a motion?
We do have a motion. I would just ask that if you are looking for a recommendation to the town commission to enter into a declaration of use agreement
Correct.
relative to those.
Yeah, I'd rather than us make them come back to us with that 2 months from now, I'd rather that, I think that it's in the record what they agreed to. We agreed to those 2. I think they're fair and reasonable. We don't need anything like the last one. Yeah, okay,
Right, so
so
your recommendation would just be.
if Bob, if you make that motion, just add it to the motion that with the assumption that the council will, reach an agreement.
Okay, I'll add it to the very bottom. All right, I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of the demolition permit to remove 3 concrete sand maintenance bins.
Need a second.
Second.
Moved and seconded, Rita?
Mr. Doherty, Mr. Canfield,
Yes.
Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Make a motion to recommend approval of the land clearing permit to clear the area where 2 pickleball courts would be placed, which includes the removal of 1 tree in for addition and the addition of 3 additional areca palm trees.
Moved and seconded, Rita?
Mr. Doherty.
Yes.
Mr. Canfield, Chairman Smith.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend approval of level 3 architectural site plan based on a finding that the construction of 2 pickleball courts located adjacent to the golf course maintenance facility with a small spectator area east of the courts meets the minimum intent of the design manual and applicable review standards with the following conditions. 1, the courts will be fenced to the north, south, and west side by an 8-foot chain link fence, green vinyl clad. The courts will have a 4-foot chain link fence, green vinyl clad on the east side. The courts will be buffered on the north and west by 20-foot areca palms. The court surface will be constructed with a Lakehold Masters cushion surface to dampen sound. Any minor modifications in the approval of landscaping shall be submitted to the town manager for review and approval, and any major modifications shall be brought back to the ARPB for review and approval prior to the commencement of landscaping. And 5, this is all subject to the town council agreeing to a declaration of use agreement. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Rita?
Mr. Doherty.
Yes.
Mr. Canfield,
Yes.
Chairman Smith.
Yes. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Tom and Bob, thanks for coming back. Appreciate it.
Nice job, man. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, the second item on the
Rip it out.
agenda is an application by Russell Rosiski, I'm sorry, the owners of 825 Tangerine Way in Foster.
That says 825 Tangerine.
This one more.
Yes. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm Dr. Russell Rosicki, architect, representing the interest of Mr. Wayne Hunley and Miss Susan Hunley, who's here in attendance. We also have Miss Janet Ireland, who is a neighbor and also a landscape designer, who will be making an address to the landscape design. I'll just start with the history of this home, or just the way it is today, so to speak. So it's a Spanish Mediterranean Gulf Stream style that is kind of a smaller home, doesn't have a large horizontality to it currently. What makes this home unique is that it has an arcade in front of it, but I think it was poorly addressed and designed originally. It actually blocks windows. It's off the center line, does not align with the doors. Our goal here is basically to improve the curb appeal of the home on the exterior to the Bermudan style of Gulfstream. So with that, we're proposing the improvements to the inside of the home, which helps. The master bedroom and bathroom combination in this home is quite small in comparison to the footprint of the home. So we're proposing to expand that. Also, as a part of the project, we are converting part of the garage into habitable space to accommodate a laundry room, as well as a bathroom being added adjacent to a bedroom for guest accommodation of a special needs family member. We are also doing a renovation on the interior for the kitchen and dining room and living space, whereby we would have an increased ceiling height, more of an open floor plan within the home. I'll just go over some numbers real quick. So essentially we have a first floor living area of 2,007 square feet. We have additions of 247 square feet, and then a partial garage conversion for that laundry bathroom area of 161.9 square feet for a new total of 2,415 square feet. So it's a modest size home. The covered areas has increased nominally by approximately 10 square feet. That's with respect to the front portico as designed, and subtracting from the rear kitchen dining room addition, which is basically straightening out the facade at the back, whereby we take up a portion of an existing covered roof in the backyard. The total gross floor area proposed with adjustments as designed is 3,325.7, which factors in the habitable space, the covered area, as well as the garage. And we are in compliance with zoning setbacks. There's no variance requested or special exceptions requested. Architecturally, I defined the addition to expand the width of the home, both on the right-hand side, basically expanding for a toilet room, recentering windows in the living room, and then the master bedroom bathroom suite pushes off towards the east. That is the closest setback. Otherwise, the other setbacks for the home are well in compliance, but we still are in compliance for the proposed addition. I welcome your comments on the architectural side, and then I'd like to open it up for the landscape design for Janet to discuss.
Can you pop up on your screen the other photo you have where you're showing what changes and additions are going to be made? It's to the right of that. Yeah, okay. Just briefly explain to us the things that are changing in there's 3 or 4 sections there.
Yeah, so basically the shaded areas, let me say the existing home is the white unshaded or unhatched portion. It takes an L shape, but it kind of has a little jigsaw the way it fits into the lot. So what we're proposing is where the shaded areas are, I'll just go by each of them, is a little foyer addition at the front, which makes for an entry without sort of walking right into your living room. And that would be, upon entry, you'd be underneath a portico, which is new and proposed. Next to that, we have a pergola structure that fills within the alcove for a decorative appeal, almost creating a porch effect, but without columns.
You're taking the Spanish.
That is correct. I'm sorry to not describe that. Yes, the arcade will be removed. We're converting from a Spanish Mediterranean style to a Bermudan style. So with that arcade in the front doesn't have a covered roof today. It's just sort of open air. So it's essentially walls that are arched with openings. And that actually falls, I could probably zoom in here to show you better. And I do have a demolition plan. How would I just show that? So this is what it looks like today. Essentially, the arcade is in the front, and we're reshaping the roof to remove those reverse gables that are looking out at us, and we'll have basically proposed hips. And then going back to this, that partial, so then this small addition is off the master suite. This is for a toilet room rather than take up the space in the bathroom. It's easy to accommodate a small addition there, which actually helps to balance the right side of the home with the left side, right? Because the garage is actually sizable, especially upon adding the foyer. And then expanding the master bedroom, even though it seems like a small amount, 5.17 feet, it's huge for that master bedroom bathroom suite. It makes everything work. They get ample closet space. And then same for the kitchen. They kind of had this odd jog that occurred at the back here. So this is where the kitchen and dining room take place, and it makes for a better kitchen layout. The kitchen actually trades place with today's current dining room. This is an existing covered patio with a flat roof. If anything, we're reducing the size of that by proposing this straightened portion of the addition at the back. And then you have the converted area with inside the home, which is indicated by 161.9 square feet. It's that crosshatch region. So right now there's a curb up in the garage. So you pull in the garage, it's basically a step up. On that step is where we're placing our new wall. So that's their sort of unconditioned laundry room today, or laundry area, so to speak. So they're trying to make it more habitable and more usable.
You're gonna change your garage entry from, it's moving also, right? From kind of opening up right into the kitchen area, it's gonna now open. Yeah, okay.
So the garage is on the same side of the home where it is today, and yeah.
The opening from the garage into the house, is that being blocked off and you're moving?
Oh,
it?
yes, I'm sorry. Let me go to the floor plan to answer that question. So yes, I'll point to the screen here. The current walls enclose the garage like so. The door comes inward, which actually makes for a nicer entry on that side, and the expansion of the family room, which also has a jog in it today. This is an existing outside door access, so that remains the same. This is currently where their washer and dryer is. We're kind of accommodating a bathroom here, which would be a barrier-free access, so that family members, who have special needs can be accommodated within that shower space.
Move to the landscape plan.
Now make it where we can see it and,
Oh.
yeah. And I'm gonna just point rather than use that.
And you know what I'll do is I'll put that over here.
We have it all.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
We're looking at it also, so.
Okay, well, I'm Janet Ireland, and I'm a Plaza Soleil resident. I actually live in the Bermuda-style home right across from the Hunleys. So I'm quite familiar with the place and the people. So I've been also involved, some of you know me from the redesign of the entryway to Plaza Soleil at Federal and Gulfstream. And I worked on that committee through the HOA in Plaza Soleil for about 5 years as a volunteer. With this, I guess I'm saying I'm really familiar with what Plaza Soleil looks like. And I feel like this landscape works with the Gulfstream guidelines as well as enhancing the beauty of the home with great curb appeal. It is designed to integrate the existing trees, these 3 palm trees over here, which are mature trees, and these 3 over here, shown as just dark circles. Those balance the house, yard. Everything else is fairly low planting. It'll be maintained as more of an informal, layered, but diverse for that size. So there's quite a bit of nice textural interest as well as some color. We're working to enhance the existing plantings that are over here. Taking out some things that aren't doing well or not thriving and adding back. So this side over here will be a bit heavier planted with larger things like bougainvillea, Hamelia, which is hummingbird, butterfly bush. But we have lots of low plantings that will keep the borders very green. Right now, this planting is a large mature Ixora hedge. All of that comes out. We use a simple, clean look of large gravel here, which works with drainage on the slope. And this hedge here is green island ficus, which is so dependable, which is repeated in other areas. So there's a nice flow of plant material of the right size and easy to maintain the look. There'll be subtle landscape lighting that is recommended for uplighting the pygmy gate palms that are on this new master suite side of the house, right over there. And that will just silhouette the fronds against the facade of the house. And then there'll be low landscape lighting here where there's a boulder, low seasonal color right in front of the new patio area in the front. So I think the curb appeal is what works with our current neighborhood and will enhance the beauty of the home for curb appeal. Any questions?
No, it's terrific. I think the redo looks really
Okay.
nice. You should all be commended for it. I think it's a lovely change and a practical change too. I don't really have any comments or questions. Does staff have any comments? Any questions, Rob?
Sir.
Bob? If not, should we then entertain a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve a demolition permit to remove a small portion of the roof, a portion of the wall to accommodate a small addition to the existing dwelling.
Moved and seconded, Rita?
Mr. Dougherty?
Yes.
Mr. Canfield?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a level 2 architectural site plan to permit a single-story addition to expand the master bedroom suite, add a foyer and a bathroom, and expand the existing kitchen and dining room.
Second that?
Rita?
Mr. Dougherty?
Yes.
Mr. Canfield?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes. Thank you very much. You did a
Thank
great
you all for your
job.
time today. Thank you.
Really very, very nice.
Thank you.
Next up. Yep.
You tell me where.
Sure. It's called North Ocean Presentation 7,
This one?
and that one.
And then I guess you can do like everybody else did and
Okay.
zoom in.
Got it.
You, Stephen?
I am.
Okay, you have the floor, Stephen.
Good morning. I'm Steve Brascala, architect, representing Philip and Anna Swift of 1275 North Ocean Boulevard. We are here to request the permission to build a privacy wall on basically on the northwestern portion of the property. Right now, there's only like a low chain link fence there. I'll show you a photograph of it in a moment. We're looking to build an 8-foot high privacy wall, and we're of the clear understanding that this is above the adjacent grade. So it's whatever the lowest adjacent grade is, that's where the 8 feet is measured from, not from the neighbor's side or total height from the existing adjacent grade is clear that it's 8 feet. This would be a direct permit, as I understand, except that it's in the North Ocean Overlay District. And so 17 feet of the, 17 feet approximately of the thing is within the 50-foot right away from the edge of the roadway. So this is the reason for our ask today is permission to build a little up to the, we're not going any further than the edge of the property line, but just a little closer to the thing. This is a photograph of the public beach access along the south side of the property. So there's an existing wall front to back all the way along the edge of the property that follows the contour of the grade. We will be just matching this wall, a very simple, straightforward wall that'll match what's on the other side.
Just stucco.
Stucco with a cap, like a stone cap on it, very simple.
Okay, so we'll have a modest stone cap like that.
That's right. This is the exact area where the wall is to be constructed. It's kind of low. The ground falls away from the house quickly and then kind of goes down. And so it's unsecure at the moment. And I guess some folks have been easily, hopping the fence and hanging out in sort of that little heavy wooded area in the corner. So the owner's looking for a little bit more security as well too. Coincidentally,
It'll tie into the front, the hedges along A1A now. It's not 8 feet tall though, but the fence where they meet in the corner of the property.
Right.
Yeah, describe again the little hedges, not the hedges. There's either a fence.
Right, so there's a low wall with a wrought iron railing across the top of it. That's what this, yeah. Nothing basically presents any sort of visual presentation to the street. It's just perpendicular to the street and just running straight back. And it's pretty heavily wooded. There's like a lot of plant materials in there. It's very dense. The plant materials are very dense. So it's really not even something that's gonna be very particularly visible from the roadway, I don't think. Coincidentally here, on the neighbor's property is an existing 8-foot wall. And so ours just simply comes back and pretty much terminates right at their wall. So it'll develop continuity along the property line in this area. And it's a very standard reinforced masonry wall, stucco, stone cap at the top, and of course, pilings and grade beam will be required for the foundations. And that's our simple ask.
When I looked at the property, it looks like there is going to be some foliage that's going to have to be sort of removed, maybe some seagrave trees or anything. Did we have any regulations about planting on the south side of this at all? This the town? Did you see the picture here? You can see where the fence goes. It's going right through the middle of some, I don't know. I think Stephen will tell us there's some scruffy stuff there. It's not like beautiful landscaping, but they're going to remove it. I'm wondering if the neighbor's going to object to the removal of you can see it there. If you just follow the black fence down, you run right into some landscaping. Is it going to be replaced on this side of the wall? Is there any thoughts of that?
Well, I had neglected at the beginning of my presentation to thank the staff for being so helpful to us and so productive and cooperative with us. Rita explained to me that when we were first talking about this project, that in order to work with the landscaping, we would have to document everything that's there, and anything as part of the permit, we'd have to document everything that's there that's proposed to be removed and what we're replacing it with, so that it's approvable, completely approvable in terms of meeting the code. This particular presentation is not relating to the landscaping specific. When we go for the permit, we will have a landscape plan and again, the tree remediation removal plan. Fortunately, just randomly, the line of the wall actually doesn't have very many trees at all that have to be removed. Just for whatever reason, they're left and right. And it looks like we're going to be able to strike a nice line without really removing a lot of plant material other than the scruffy underbrush type of a thing.
So let me understand. When you submit your plans for the permit for the wall, is when you're going to submit some type of landscape plan?
Correct. Yeah, this was as I understood it, this was a necessary ask, strictly having to do with the proximity of the wall to the North Ocean overlay.
So is your landscape plan going to include landscaping changes on the entire property or just this area?
Just this one area.
Okay, well, those, we can approve those at level one.
Yeah, I was hoping so. I mean, you know, it's a beautiful home and I'm gonna want a flat white wall there. But I just thought that we probably wanted landscape.
Yeah,
or
well, we
something.
can approve those.
Okay. So we're primarily deciding, or do we approve the incursion on the,
Right, approximately 17-foot 4-inch incursion into the 50-foot roadway easement, which is the North Ocean Boulevard overlay.
do we have any other comments? If not, could we move to a motion, please? Bob?
Okay, sure. Motion to approve a North Ocean Boulevard overlay permit to construct an 8-foot high concrete privacy wall to the north property line within the North Ocean Boulevard overlay district.
Second that?
Moved and seconded, Rita?
Mr. Doherty?
Yes.
Mr. Canfield?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a level 2 architectural site plan review to permit the construction of an 8-foot high concrete privacy wall that will extend 158 feet along the north property.
Second that?
Rita, please?
Mr. Doherty?
Yep.
Mr. Canfield?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We look forward to it.
I assume since no one's here, we're gonna defer the fourth item on the agenda? Or are we to take it up with no one here?
We have discussed this at length with the applicant, and we feel comfortable with what has been submitted. However, in speaking with Greg, we would really like them to do that presentation because otherwise the town is really putting words in their mouth as far as exactly what they're doing, what changes have been made. And I don't think that the staff is really as familiar as they are with the specifics of the project. So I think the most prudent thing to do, and I'll recommend that to Greg, is to defer it to the next meeting. I know that's not something we wanted to do. We anticipated being here. After the significant amount of work staff has put on reading, Greg, we're meeting for hours and reviewing and trying to get this, this in a package that we could recommend for approval. Or, the staff would recommend.
And it is a package that we can, I see the old staff report is in here, but it is a package that we can recommend approval. Our biggest problem was the entry feature.
Yep.
And it's really been repurposed into something that we would call a vestibule or a hallway that opens to a door that opens to the outside. And so we actually have, we've sat down with the architect and the owner of the Blue Water Cove that actually has a house in it that, in our opinion, have the same issues with it that this one did. And when we began to knock this one out with their architect, we would make the same and we will be making the same recommendation to the Blue Water Cove house that is like this presentation would have been. But now, do we feel comfortable having that discussion with Mr. Blickstein? Now that we've not been able to get some kind of, approval on this.
Well, I thank you guys for spending so much time on this. And I can tell you did because they gave us multiple iterations of what it could be. But I think the committee, et cetera, the board itself would probably like to have a little bit of a chance to have questions and answers about which one we're finally settling on. Unless you feel so confident that you like options 1, 2, or 3 that you think we should go with it, we can keep the project moving. I thought they could be here so we could ask them some questions.
Disappointed it's not here.
Last time.
And I just went and checked and we haven't heard no comment.
So then I think we just need a motion to defer. I hope they know it's still September, but that's nothing we can do about it. I don't think we could call an emergency special meeting in August. It's going to be difficult. the people here.
Well, especially since they no show today.
Now, Renee, Trey, we'll trust you. I know you spent a great deal of time on it, but I was thinking we would at least be able to hear them tell us what they have conceded to, and we know they've dropped the height of it's no longer an entry feature, so.
It's
An entry, it wasn't, it's the vestibule, yeah, and it looks very attractive now, but the roof lines have changed. Those are the major changes, they still have the deck.
correct.
Yes.
I mean, were they thinking that we would have enough with this to go with it?
I don't know.
We didn't even get this last submission until about a week ago.
Then,
Well, I'd like to make a motion to defer this application 21-15 to the next time the ARPB meets.
Second.
moved and seconded, Rita?
Mr. Doherty.
Yeah.
Mr. Canfield.
Yes.
Chairman Smith.
Yes. You may help Renee out by, we can leave you these, because they'll show up again.
Sure, just leave those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Perfect.
anything else? No.
And if they come forward with something else, you can, you can send that to us. I'd say that they don't need, then we need 10 of them here, but certainly maybe the architect, was it the owner and the architect that both the last time?
The architects might go around.
Yeah.
You could even call him.
But he comes here once a week.
Oh. Okay,
So he said,
oh, okay,
for another job.
oh,
Okay, are there any other items by staff,
I know, sir.
other board members? There's no public. Before we are adjourned, thank you.
Work hard.
I think we could have moved them 2 months further along in what they were trying to do.
They were, a little heated.
Yeah, that's.
they were what?
A little heated.
The black.
So I expect them to be small.
Really, you'll have to change the number of us to try to pull off September even. I think it'll be touch and go, because we've got 3 maybes here.
Yeah, and I know Manny said they don't come back till October, so she's not.
Curtis.
COVID has changed a lot of things, I think, in that regard. I think people are extending their breaks longer. Remote working, you got computers, or, yeah.
Well, we'll be calling y'all
Okay.
early September to see what you're.
Yeah, oh, please call me, I can get into it, especially if it's necessary needed.
The 23rd, is that what it promises to say?
It is.
The 23rd.
23rd, yeah.
Question more, sorry. Do we, is anything, you guys, on the docket that's coming up in September? Do you know of any new houses?
Yeah, this,
Oh, yes.
That, yeah. How's Kerry Glickstein doing with this? It's moving along, has the town approved everything?
He will likely have some houses for your approval. So
He's gonna
that's-
build the spec houses,
So
so
he
to
has,
speak, or-
he has 3.
Three.
It's very-
and
And
he
we
has-
can't really talk about
No.
that much, but I'm just telling you that
that there could be.
three
potential-
different applications, right? So that's so.
With Rusty as the architect.
It was someone.
When does he anticipate moving dirt?
their,
No.
their permit for the infrastructure is in Delaware, at Delaware Beach at this point in time. And as soon as they approve that, then they can start with their infrastructure.
So next week or 2 months from now?
Yeah,
Delaware,
Right.
they really did want to get it done as soon as possible. They were.
Did the reverse osmosis make it through?
Yes.
At the town too, they got to, okay.
And there'll be at least one other house, new house, at that meeting, besides,
This one?
3 of Glickstein's. And possibly another one. So that will be a
Which one?
long meeting.
Down on Banyan, I think.
This is, I don't know, the meeting's over. If we hear back from some of the people who emailed us or wrote us about Armitage.
I'm sure we will.
Okay, but no, it's like tell them that we need to be able to tell them what date they have a right to, I guess that'll be heard by the council in August.
Yeah,
Okay, so
They do, Commissioner Eaton.
Yeah, that's the. I just want to know myself, I'm gonna also, you also may hear from people too, just say that they have a right to speak up or attend, and if they,
Friday the 13th.
is that?
Oh, boy.
I didn't realize that.
I looked at it and I went, oh, no.
So they'll still have a chance to voice. All right, thank you. That went, I think it went very well.
Yes.
And, members, they agreed to.
Here's, I don't know what I can say.
Yeah, we can reconvene the meeting and just talk.
Well, I mean, all I was
At
gonna
this
say.
point, nothing, the pickleball application will not come back before the ARPB, so.
Right, so no, all I was gonna mention is that, we probably, whether they actually hear it or not, we'll get some complaints from people about noise. You guys are gonna need to do something about that noise, so.
It's right, it's this one right
Yeah,
here.
it's not there.
I have a hard time with the noise part, given the distances.
Yeah.
Have you played?
Yeah,
So is rowdy, I haven't played, I just do
if
tennis.
you live right next to it, it can be a little bit annoying when people are playing, but given the distance there, 600 feet, I think about a football field.
Right.
Playing one end of a football field and another, you're not gonna hear that anyway, much less two.
That's
Yeah.
2 foot.
I know, that's what I mean.
Football field.
Scale it down to 2 football fields.
And there's buildings and there's landscaping, and most of the time the houses are closed anyway, but they could be sitting on their back porch.
I've never used the noise reducing equipment they're talking about, so I can only imagine that's.
That might even be better, yeah.
Okay, well, we probably will hear from some people, but I think it's important for us to remind them that there's nothing that we thought that would obstruct them doing it, and so now they still have a right to object.
Sure, agree, sure.
And they did exactly what y'all had said before, go private program.
Yeah.
They did exactly what was.
Remember
Yeah.
they originally.
No, they suggested going
Yeah.
out. I'll call it.
Yeah, so,
All right.
all righty.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for all your hard work. I know you'll do that.
Friday morning.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see my mom and dad for dinner tonight, the next night, and then.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
this afternoon.
Yeah.
All right.
You can see it in my eyes. Yeah, exactly.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Thank you.